begging you, please delete this stuff. This is my reputation.
Let's break this down because the drama between Lil Meech and Big Meech just exploded online, and it's way nastier than anyone thought. Their family name is getting dragged through the dirt, and the receipts hitting the net are ugly. People been whispering for months about how they really moving, but now the puzzle pieces finally snapping together, painting a picture that's anything but pretty. First, we gotta talk about those leaked conversations, because in them, Lil Meech is straight up begging
You, please delete this stuff. This is my reputation, bro. I apologize for saying what I said to you. Please, man.
But you said it was cap though. What was cap, Demetrius?
Celina, I said that to get the post deleted, Celina.
Okay. You're right. But now you want to make me look like a liar in front of the internet. It's crazy, Demetrius.
That's not how I tried to make you seem. I apologize for that.
That ain't the voice of somebody standing strong like a boss. It's the voice of somebody boxed in with no options left. You can hear the desperation in his tone, like every door already slammed shut, and it only gets uglier from there. He keeps circling back, tripping over excuses, scrambling to sound believable. But then he slips up big time. He admits plain and simple that he lied just to get Celina Powell to take down a post. That's humiliation in its rawest form, because once the internet catches you lying, there's no undo button. Screenshots last forever, and the memes, they'll chase you longer than your rep ever will. But here's where it gets even crazier. Big Meech's legend always painted him as untouchable. The story always went that the BMF kingpin had millions stashed away, money stuffed in ceilings, hidden behind walls, offshore accounts waiting like buried treasure. The myth was always that when Big Meech finally walked free last October, he'd be stepping right back into sky-high riches. But according to Celina Powell, that dream is nothing but smoke and mirrors. She swears the reality behind the curtain is way different, and that so-called empire of secret millions might not even exist at all. And remember, this is Celina Powell, the same woman who built her whole name on exposing rappers and celebrities. She jumped in claiming the situation is way worse than anybody imagined. She's saying not only is Lil Meech broke, but his father Big Meech is sitting in the same boat, living off favors, not fortune. According to her, she spent time around Lil Meech and immediately spotted the cracks in his big baller image. She claims he was strung out on pills, moving reckless, slipping hard, and then it gets even wilder. She says she stood there in person and watched his Lamborghini Urus and Ferrari get snatched right from under him. Not because of beef, not because of haters, but simply because he couldn't keep up with the monster payments and sky-high insurance. Now think about that. Exotic whips come with insurance bills so insane they can run $8,000 to $10,000 every 6 months. That's basically like paying another car note, except for a luxury ride you don't even own outright. And if your money isn't flowing steady, those bills will crush you quick. That's the type of lifestyle that shines bright on Instagram, but drowns you behind the scenes. But Celina didn't stop at talking about repossessions. She pushed it even further. She's now claiming that both Lil Meech and Big Meech are holed up in one of Floyd Mayweather's Miami mansions. Not owning it, not even renting it, just crashing there like it's borrowed space or some extended Airbnb situation. And when you start connecting the dots, her story actually lines up. Remember when 50 Cent cut ties first? He axed the BMF TV show, then shut down that massive Welcome Home concert for Big Meech. Those two moves wiped out their main money streams overnight. With that bond dead, their financial foundation collapsed right along with it. What once looked like an untouchable empire now feels like pure smoke and mirrors, and the cracks are wide open for the whole world to see. It's rough watching this unfold because the OGs in the game still remember Big Meech's golden era like it was yesterday.
And the first time I met 50, it was just genuine. And I sat by him and we actually got to watch people audition for a couple hours. And the next day he called me 8 o'clock in the morning, woke me up. I'm like, damn, 50 calling me. So I answered the phone. He like, hey, what you think about going to acting classes? I want you to play your dad. And at first, it sounded crazy, but of course, I'm gonna do it. I'm not doing nothing. So of course I wanted to do it, I just didn't know if I could do it.
the draft from Randy about, because it was important to show the origin story, to see the innocence and how they chose to get involved, and then it grew. Well,
back then, he wasn't just getting money, he was money. He didn't just flex, he wrote the entire manual on how to flex, and rappers are still copying that blueprint today. Picture this: Maybachs and Lambos lined up like toy cars, private jets ready on standby, diamond watches flooding both wrists, designer fits dripping non-stop. Clubs would literally shut their doors just to let BMF walk in. And once they hit the scene, the cash stormed down so heavy, it looked like autumn leaves falling from the sky. Big Meech pioneered the whole culture of spending loud, showing power not by what you saved, but by how much you could burn in one night. But decades later, every dollar that rained across those club floors is a dollar he probably wishes was still sitting safe in a vault. That's the brutal reality. The same game that feeds you will starve you when the bills finally catch up. Flexing reckless always comes with a price tag, and sooner or later, somebody's gotta pay it. The sting cuts even deeper when you watch Lil Meech fold under that massive shadow. How do you come from one of the most legendary street empires ever, only to end up exposed by someone like Celina Powell? Let's keep it real. She's not the kind of woman men brag about. She's infamous, the modern-day superhead, bouncing from one celebrity to the next, using connections to climb, then blasting private business the second the money dries up. That's her entire pattern, and the streets know it. Any father with real game would warn his son to steer clear. No hesitation. And Big Meech, a man who survived an era of hustling, betrayal, and feds breathing down his neck, he definitely knew that playbook. But Lil Meech, either he didn't listen or he thought his name made him untouchable. And that's exactly when the biggest mistakes hit hardest. Because Celina Powell didn't stop with flexing about repossessed whips or the Mayweather mansion. She went for the kill shot, accusing Lil Meech of being heavy into pills. And that's not just dangerous for his health, it's a direct strike at his credibility. Once people start believing addiction has you in a chokehold, every single move you make gets judged through that lens. Suddenly, nothing about his image looks solid anymore. But then came Celina's wildest bomb of them all. She flat out called him a snitch. According to her, it all goes back to a traffic stop where cops found a gun in the car. She claims instead of standing tall and taking the charge, Lil Meech pointed at his own homie, who ended up doing time while Meech walked away free. Now, whether her story is fact or just smoke, once a rumor like that hits the streets, especially with the Meech name tied to it, it's almost impossible to wash it off. A snitch label sticks forever, and in street culture, even a whisper of it can stain your entire legacy. Now zoom out and think. If the internet had been around during the height of BMF's reign, just imagine the madness. Every scandal, every flex, every rumor would have been blasted worldwide in seconds. Back then, dirt spread only through whispers, coded magazine stories, and word of mouth in the streets. Today, screenshots, recordings, and videos spread online faster than a rumor can even be denied. That's why, in this era, reality matters more than image. When you're really up, there's no need to beg, fake, or overflex. But when you're broke in real life while still posing online, somebody who knows the truth will always step forward, and they'll bring receipts with them. And that's exactly what we're watching play out now. Bawling loud for the public, but begging quiet behind closed doors. And when the name Meech is attached to that type of storyline, it lands way heavier. The lesson buried in all this is simple. Live within your means. If money's running tight, there's no shame in dropping the flashy act. Forget the Lambos and Ferraris if you can't keep them, because those toys will drown you way faster than they'll impress strangers on Instagram. There's nothing wrong with driving a Honda, Toyota, or any solid whip if it keeps your bills clean and your peace steady. Real stability shines way brighter than fake luxury. And if times get rough, pawn the extra jewelry, sell off what you don't need, and start stacking quietly, because quiet money always grows loud. Fake money always disappears. Once you're at the point of begging somebody to delete posts, scrambling on calls, and doing desperate damage control, the damage is already locked in. And with today's phones, nothing stays hidden. Every call can be recorded, every DM can be screenshotted, and every slip up can go viral in seconds. Once it's online, it's stamped forever. On top of the money drama, Lil Meech has another mountain in front of him. Getting clean, if those pill rumors are true. That would explain half the reckless choices and sloppy moves we've been seeing. Too many times when somebody's high, they act desperate, trusting the wrong people, saying the wrong things, and making promises they'll never keep. But by the time sobriety hits, it's already too late. The damage is done, the footage is out, the screenshots are saved, and the audio clips are everywhere. That's the perfect recipe for a career to crash in real time. And that's exactly what we're watching unfold. Recordings surfacing left and right, wild allegations stacking non-stop, exposure hitting back to back. And it's not just dragging Lil Meech down. It makes his father look weak by association. The empire they built brick by brick now looks like it's crumbling into dust. And let's be real, Big Meech's name deserves better than being tied to this kind of chaos. Meech isn't the same untouchable figure he was back in the 90s and early 2000s. BMF wasn't just big, it was legendary. Fleets of exotic whips, private jets on standby, the biggest VIP sections locked down, and heavy pull inside the music game. Back then, just being tied to BMF could give an artist like Young Jeezy an instant career boost. That's how much weight the movement carried. But fast forward to today, and it's a whole new world. That kind of flashy empire can't survive under the all-seeing eye of social media. Cameras are everywhere, eyes are everywhere, and the tiniest crack in your image gets blown up into a full-scale scandal. Instead of quiet power building in the shadows, the Meech legacy is now taking hit after hit online, right in front of millions. What we're really watching is the unraveling of a family that was once feared, respected, and admired, now being humiliated by their own missteps. A father who once showed the streets how to shine is now mostly silent, just appearing in photos but rarely speaking, while his son spirals in public for the whole world to judge. And the same fans who once idolized them, they're sitting back like it's a Netflix series, watching the downfall play out in real time. The moral here couldn't be louder. Don't build your image on lies. Don't blow money on luxuries you can't maintain, and never hand access to people who live off exposing weakness, because the internet is ruthless. The same crowd that hypes you today will flip tomorrow and expose everything. And once that switch flips, there's no coming back. If you want more breakdowns like this, make sure you subscribe to Dripzine, share this video, drop a comment, and smash that like button, because the story isn't stopping here.